Hello and welcome. It is Thursday, May the 12th, and this is the Greenbrier Valley Church of the Nazarene with your devotions. Today, from the Half Million Mobilization Prayer Guide, we read from the Gospel of John, chapter 17, verse 15. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. The scripture insights today is from Mark Bain, who is the Director, Evangelism and New Church Development with the Church of the Nazarene. At times, the world seems to have gone mad. Most of us would rather be transported out of it. Beam us up, Jesus, would be our prayer. The disciples probably had similar thoughts. Jesus made some pretty awful predictions about what would be ahead for them. Others will try to kill you. You will weep and mourn while others rejoice. You will be filled with grief. The world will hate you, and so on. These all sound like things sensible people would want to escape. Who wouldn't? The disciples were about to experience that dark night of the soul. Jesus, knowing this, doesn't pray that they would escape from it, but that his Father would protect them in it. That reminds me of when I was a passenger in a van that rolled over 3 times while traveling 80 miles per hour. I was sure I was about to die. When the dust settled, I walked out unharmed. I think this is what Jesus is asking the Father. When the dust settles, let them walk out unharmed. Today's prayer: Father, remind us today that Jesus asked you to protect us from the one who seeks to kill us, steal from us, and destroy us. Quiet our hearts in the midst of turmoil and speak what you wish to say to your church. And now, for your daily devotion from Reflecting God, we are going to read from the book of Acts, chapter 21, verses 1 through 9. Here's the word of the Lord. After we had torn ourselves away from them, we put out to sea and sailed straight to Kos. The next day, we went to Rhodes and from there to Patara. We found a ship crossing over to Phoenicia, went on board, and set sail. After sighting Cyprus and passing to the south of it, we sailed on to Syria. We landed at Tyre, where our ship was to unload its cargo. We sought out the disciples there and stayed with them 7 days. Through the Spirit, they urged Paul not to go on to Jerusalem. When it was time to leave, we left and continued on our way. All of them, including wives and children, accompanied us out of the city, and there on the beach we knelt and prayed. After saying goodbye to each other, we went aboard the ship and they returned home. We continued our voyage from Tyre and landed at Ptolemais, where we greeted the brothers and sisters and stayed with them for a day. Leaving the next day, we reached Caesarea and stayed at the house of Philip the Evangelist, one of the 7. He had 4 unmarried daughters who prophesied. And that is the word of the Lord. The article today is titled Stay Focused, and it's by Danny Goddard. Not long ago, our church graciously gave us a 6-week sabbatical. We used the first week to fly to Florida and meet our son and his family at Disney World. We flew back to Indianapolis, regrouped, and headed out again, this time on the road. We visited family in Oklahoma, saw the Grand Canyon for the first time, and drove down the strip of Las Vegas to see the lights. My wife, Sandy, had found some hotels along the way, but they were not our goal. We had planned on a few sites, but they were not our destination. Our finish line was La Habra, California, home of our son, his wife, and our grandkids. After 3 weeks on the West Coast, we headed back a different route. We stopped in St. George, Utah, and then on to Denver to go to church with dear friends. We dodged tornadoes in Kansas. Our goal this time was to get to Newcastle, Indiana, our home, and to Lily Bell, our golden retriever, who was waiting patiently for us. What is your goal, your finish line, your destination? I hope it is to tell people along the way about Jesus. The hymn is Jesus is Calling by Fannie J. Crosby. Jesus is waiting. Oh, come to him now. And from the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 15. But in your hearts revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. And that is your daily devotion for Thursday, May the 12th. Have a blessed day.